Hey everyone, and welcome back to the HellfireComms Livestream. I'm Spar, and I'm here with Flame, and today we're going to be doing something that I don't think has ever been covered on this channel before, at least in terms of the series this game is from. We're going to be covering a randomizer of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. As far as I know, nothing of the Metroid Prime series, and very little Metroid at all, has been covered on HFC, so actually pretty happy to be doing this. I love the Prime series, and the randomizers are pretty cool, although I really don't like the randomizer for the first Prime game. I think the one for this one's a lot better. And I haven't tried out the randomizer for Prime 3 yet, because that one's a bit more fiddly. But we're going to go ahead and get started here. Over on the right side of the screen, you can see my tracker, developed by Pootage, I believe is the name, and also Diceron, otherwise known as DCR, who's a pretty good friend of mine. It basically got me into this. If you use the exclamation point echoes command in the chat, you'll get a link to some helpful info and stuff about the randomizer and stuff like that. So, if anyone's interested, feel free to check those links out and give it a shot for yourself. As the command says, I'm going to be trying to find the sky-tipple keys that lead to the final boss. In the normal game, there's 9 that you need to find. Part of what the randomizer allows you to do is turn that number down, and I've done that because I don't want to be here for 6 hours.
Fair enough.
So we're going to be finding 6 keys, which should not be that hard. I say, having spent a long time getting keys in some of the seeds that I've done. Another thing the randomizer does, those of you who have played Metroid Prime 2 might notice, I didn't actually start at the beginning of the game. We have actually started inside the Great Temple. I'm doing this because the start of the game doesn't give you a whole lot of chance to get items, and it's just kind of more interesting to start here. You get 2 items straight off the bat, and it unlocks a lot more freedom. Basically, you get into the actual meat of the game faster by doing this.
Fair play. Yeah, I will say, like, I'm just watching this almost completely blind. There's a lot of stuff from the Metroid series that I just haven't paid much attention to at all. My experience with the Metroid series has primarily been the 2D games, and even then I'm kind of a casual with it. The only games I've beat to completion are the first one and Zero Mission, which is a remake of the first one, so, you know, not
Fair.
much variety there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, as for Prime 2 itself, this is one of those games that I had on the GameCube because I got it pre-owned, but never really got that far into, so, you know, like, it's just one of them games that it just didn't really click with me much at the time. Maybe it would if I gave it another shot now, but, you know, like, when it comes to even just watching Metroid games, for the most part, I've mainly just stuck to 2D stuff because that's the sort of gameplay style that appeals more to me. But I know that the 3D, like the Prime games in particular, tend to have like their own following that's maybe got a bit of a different appeal to it to the 2D ones.
Yes, so we picked up our Morph Ball bombs there, which is going to let us pick up a single item in this room right here. And I can already pretty much guess what the item in this room is going to be, because I need a translator module of some kind to be able to advance anywhere beyond this point. Someone was asking in the chat, Red Shell Ray is asking, what is the randomizer? This one basically shuffles all the items into different locations so that you can pick them up in different orders each time. We've picked up the Amber translator. As you can see on the tracker, there's 4 different colors of translators. And that's also going to let me come over here and open this door to grab another item. These gates that are spread throughout the game require different translator modules that you receive throughout the normal course of the game. It's meant to, you know, lock a certain amount of progression. You know, you get each one as you complete a major area kind of thing. Or or you get them at the beginning of each major area, basically. So the gates themselves have been randomized as part of the randomizer program, and so the order that I'm going to be picking up the translator modules as well as other items is going to be very different from a vanilla game.
Okay, I was just thinking, because if it's able to randomize the items in a Metroidvania game, like that seems like the sort of thing that there would have had to be a lot of considerations as to what potential item spawns being in the wrong place could fuck things up. And I take it that's the sort of thing that there have been a lot of considerations for.
There is so much work put into this randomizer. The game actually expected me and required me to go back and pick up the blue translator module because I needed it to get through that gate to be able to move on at all. I'm actually walking into this room from behind. You're actually supposed to walk in from this side to trigger this cutscene first. And so these pools of darkness that are flying through the air are meant to possess some enemies that spawn here. But because there are no enemies, they actually go for me, and they do tons of damage.
Oh, I see Ray in chat is mentioning that Bloodstained Ritual of the Night has an official update that adds in a randomizer, and I haven't played it myself, but that sounds really cool. That's the sort of thing that developers are realizing, that people like this kind of experience.
Yeah, well, Bloodstained is it an indie dev, or is that made by like a full company or something?
Oh, it was I'm not sure about the actual publishing side of things, but I know the development company's headed by, I want to say his name's Eager, the Symphony of the Night guy.
Okay.
So, it's someone who's familiar with that and probably seen over time that people do like making randomizer mods for games. So it kind of makes sense that ends up being something they support. Oh, it is indie published. That makes sense.
Yeah. So what I did there is, again, you're meant to come into this room from the other side, basically. I came in from where you're supposed to normally exit, and so I was able to basically jump and scan something to basically get past this big box that I can't jump over. I could remove it, but I probably won't need to. Also, this corpse right here is the... that's a great start to a sentence. The key bearers, these are the Luminoth that were guarding the Sky Temple keys.
Right.
And typically they just, have a bit of lore in the base game. Here in the randomizer, they actually provide hints as to what item is in the Dark World version of that room. Because the gimmick of this game is that there is a light and dark version of the planet that we're on, and not every room has a light and dark, but quite a lot of them do. Getting some interesting stuff right here. I don't have missiles yet, and I can't get that because I don't have the violet thing, but I have bombs, so I can go on to the next area and do that. Bombs are like one of the first items you're usually going to get. Usually you're going to get bombs and missiles pretty quickly because they're required for 99% of stuff in this game, unless you are extremely good at a lot of sequence breaks. It is possible to beat this game without morph ball bombs, but it is extremely difficult, and I think has only been done single segment once. Again, by my friend Diceron.
Yeah, right.
So feel free to check him out if you're interested in those kind of challenge runs. I believe he's actually going to be doing some kind of Metroid challenge stuff, possibly in Metroid Dread, on his own stream at some point today. So if anyone's interested in that kind of stuff, yeah, check him out.
Now, I'm curious about the item distribution here and how it works, because one thing I remember from Metroid 1 is that there were the two different kind of beam upgrades, and one of them was functionally useless and actually hindered you as you were trying to get toward the end of the game. How is that in this game, both vanilla, and does that cause any extra considerations you need to think about when playing the randomizer?
So the beam upgrades in this one are separate beams that you can switch to at any time. They're not straight upgrades that overwrite the previous one.
That's an improvement already.
Yeah, so that's nice. It also means that, at least in this game, you have a limited amount of ammo for the new beams that you pick up.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and that's not like that in the first game. And the third Prime game goes back to the thing where it just overwrites the
Why?
the previous beam. Because that one was on the Wii, and they didn't have, at the time, the control system that they wanted to have to be able to switch beams like that, like they did on the GameCube. And so for the Wii, they just overwrote the beam.
That's annoying because, like, even say with Zero Mission, I know that was one of the big quality of life upgrades they brought in. The fact that you're not risking ending up stuck with this one redundant beam that stops you from beating the game.
Yeah. Okay. I guess, yes, I need to go back, actually, because I can't go any further in this area. So now that I've picked up some things, one of the things I picked up in that upper path was actually power bombs. And so that's going to let me advance if I go back. Hey, Bash. Bash actually worked on the development for the Prime 1 randomizer for a while. That has been reintegrated into the same program for all three of the Prime games, but Bash definitely helped a lot in setting that up, because Echoes was a lot more popular for a long time than the first game in terms of Randomizer, but yeah, Bash definitely helped, getting that started as well.
That's interesting because one of the things I've heard about the Prime games in general is that in terms of standard runs, this one I've heard quite a few people saying it's their least favourite of the three. Is that like a common opinion?
I would say in terms of a vanilla run, like just playing the game normally, people probably like either this game or the first one the best. In terms of speed runs, it's definitely going to be the first Prime game, and as far as I know, randomizers are definitely the most popular for either this one or possibly the first Prime game as well, because that one did take off a bit once, people started working on the development of it. But yeah, the first Prime game is probably the most popular for a lot of people, because it's very simple. It's got a lot of things in common with the 2D games in terms of the kind of beams that you're using, because the beams you're picking up in that one are wave beam and ice beam, things that are, pretty much staples. Again, it's, separate beams in that game. They don't overwrite. Okay. So, the thing that I just picked up there is an item called Cannonball, and Cannonball is not an item that you normally get through a pickup in the vanilla game. Cannonball is given to you whenever you use a kinetic orb cannon, the thing that fires you across long distances in the morph ball. And you are given a state whenever you're in the cannon and being fired called Cannonball, which will give you the boost ball if you do not have it, makes you completely invulnerable as long as you are in the morph ball form, and certain enemies that are vulnerable to this damage type will take 200,000 damage per frame or something like that. It's yeah, basically anything that you touch that is vulnerable to that damage type is going to disintegrate. And in fact, some enemies are so vulnerable to that their models will completely disappear. 500,000 Bash. Okay.
So how many things are vulnerable to this if you just won the game?
Almost. I mean, as you can see, these enemies here are not vulnerable to Cannonball because they're not dying immediately, but also
Okay.
I'm not taking damage because I am invulnerable.
Okay, I think this is going to be interesting then.
Yes. The problem with Cannonball is if I do go through a kinetic orb cannon, it takes Cannonball away because it is designed to take that state away from you at the end of the kinetic orb cannon. So I have to be very careful not to do that. Now I've just picked up the screw attack, which some people will recognize, actually implemented pretty well in 3D, I think. I'm pretty sure the logic is telling me that I have to do this, which is not what I want to do, but I'm pretty sure this is just about the only way I can go right now. This is very rare to have for the opening of a seed. I actually got stuck by this particular bit of logic during one of my practice runs. There is a single item that I can pick up by going this way, and unfortunately it's the only one available to me right now as far as I know.
Okay.
And I can pretty much guess that it's going to be a missile of some kind. It's either going to be the missile launcher, a missile expansion, which will just give me missiles, or it's going to be the Seeker missiles, which will also give me missiles anyway. The Seeker launcher just lets you fire 5 at once, focusing on different targets. It's a lot like the, I forget what they're called, the new missile thing that was added in Metroid Dread. I forget what that's called, unfortunately.
Oh, the one that takes down the Emmy things.
Storm missiles is, I think, what they're called, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so basically the logic that's leading me here is I have power bombs, I have cannonball to give me boost, and I have screw attack to get across the chasm that's here. I have everything that I need to get this item. And I have space jump, which is what allows me to screw attack, because without that I normally wouldn't be able to either. Yeah, I apologize about the lag that the emulator is causing. This is not normal. I had some problems with OBS before the stream started, and unfortunately I had to reset my computer, which, for whatever reason, actually makes my PC run worse. So I usually don't try to... I try not to restart before starting a stream, but it seemed like the only way to get OBS to run properly, because it decided it wanted to crash a lot. So unfortunately, we're going to be dealing with a lot of lag in this particular playthrough. I need to actually reset this room now, because basically it's not set to how I want it to be able to get the item here. So what I'm going to do is basically come back all the way over here, and doing that basically attempts to start loading the room back there, the elevator, and it will reset this room when I come back to it.
Just from this area alone, I'm getting a lot of Final Egg vibes, and I realise that I'm doing the thing where I relate everything back to Sonic, but it, like, just the general look of it, it's giving me that sort of energy.
This is the final main area that you would go to in the vanilla game. So that's why I'm
that
like,
makes sense.
yeah, this is not where the game would normally, like, even in a randomizer, you wouldn't be sent here right away, typically. It was happening when I was launching OBS, Kuro, yeah. Also, I think I am using the NVNEC encoder. I don't think that would be causing any problems, because these are the exact same settings that I used on a test stream earlier this week.
Yeah, and usually, like, NVENC tends to be the one to go with if you have an NVIDIA card, at least as far as I understand, so, yeah.
This is going to be interesting because I don't have the spider ball. I don't... maybe I'm missing something. Maybe the game is expecting me to do something weird here. Can I jump straight up here? Huh. I know I can jump to just get up here. I've never had to do this without Spider Ball before. This is interesting. Yeah, I'm probably going to be falling off quite a bit here.
That's fine. We improvise, we adapt, we overcome.
Bash, if you're still here, have I missed anything on the way here? Is there another item that I could have picked up? You probably weren't here for the start, so I'm not even sure if you could answer that.
Can you sort of roll up there manually or something?
No. The only thing I could do is have Spider Ball, which I don't have, so I'm...
You fell off L plus ratio.
Can I land on that? Nope, doesn't look like it. Let me check my map real quick to see if there's something I missed, because it's gotta be that. In fact, yeah, there is an item that I missed. Boy, I really don't like that they wanted me to go back and get that. There's also Hive Chamber B dash or bash rather, that I didn't get, so that's probably what they wanted me to do. They being the logic of the randomizer. There was other stuff to do, but this, I was right here at it, so it seemed like it made more sense to do this, but the game actually wanted me to go back to another area and get something and then come here. I guess I forgot that I needed Spider Ball, so that's an error on my part.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Fortunately, this one didn't cost me a lot of time. During some of my practice seeds, I have made errors that cost me hours of time spent running around, so...
Randomizers be like that, though.
They be like that. Bash is also correct that I can go this way if I had some power bombs. I actually ran out, unfortunately. The nice thing about this game, specifically, I don't know if it's like this in Prime 3, if you are completely empty on any kind of ammunition, the game will prioritize giving you that ammo whenever you break a crate like that.
Oh, that's good.
The first Prime game does not do that. All drops from crates and enemies are completely determined by the room, and so if you run out of ammo of certain things, which I guess is just missiles and power bombs for that game, you can be soft locked.
Huh.
So that is the thing that can happen, unfortunately. I don't think there's a lot of cases where that can happen, but it sure ain't fun. Let's see. That is not good information to see. That is a sky temple key, which means I will have to get that at some point in order to complete this run, and it is in a very, very unfortunate spot. Not happy about that. There's my missile launcher. Okay. Well, that was an interesting runaround that the game just gave me, because I still can't do Sanctuary Entrance, which is where I was at before. I guess the game wants me to go back to the other area again. I'm so confused by the logic of this, because it gave me almost everything to be able to do the one area where I was climbing on stuff. And it was just like one item off from being able to do that, which is really annoying.
It's doing it to fuck with you, you know that.
Yeah, it is. But, you know what? I still have Cannonball. It's okay. I'm going to try my best, very, very hard, to not lose Cannonball. There is another Cannonball in the item pool somewhere in the game, so if I lose it, it is possible that I could get it back. I just really don't want to have to look for it. It's really nice to have Cannonball, because there is a section that requires the Morph Ball in the final boss.
No, right.
And it would be really nice to have invulnerability during that section of the final boss. See, that gate is normally destroyed by power bombs, but it's also vulnerable to screw attack for some reason. So...
I mean, the screw attack is cooler, so, you know, if we can use that, we should.
Yeah, there's a couple of things like that where certain destructible objects have other vulnerabilities that you wouldn't expect. Like, near the very beginning of the run, there was, like a piece of rock that I destroyed at a save station. in order to get an item. That rock is meant to be destroyed by bombs. It can also be destroyed by power bombs, boost ball, and I think the super missile.
To be fair, I know Zero Mission has a few moments like that. Like, you know, pretty much anything that's weak to the bomb is also breakable with a screw attack and things like that. So it makes sense in context.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that thing that I picked up back there was a power bomb expansion, so I have one extra now. That's a missile expansion, so I have 10 now, which is good. The weird thing about the ammo in this game is the game always expects you to have 10 missiles, because I think that's what you're normally given when you first get them or something. Or maybe the game expects you to pick up an expansion right away, something like that. So if you only have 5, the game, like if you have 5 capacity and you run out to 0, for whatever reason the game doesn't read that as being empty sometimes, and so it will pretty rarely give you missile drops.
There's not like an underflow or something, is there?
I'm not really sure. It's definitely a very odd case. Nope, can't go that way, so I'm going to have to take the long way around. Again, good thing we have cannonball, because I can just kind of morph and be completely invincible to the enemies up here, because they would otherwise be a bit of an issue. Well, not really, but like, they would be annoying, I guess is probably a better way to put it. See, there's one item that I can get here. I'm gonna have to come back for another item later. Can I get up this camera? Can I? There we go. All right. Nice. That was definitely worth coming back for. The dark beam. The dark beam is basically, if you want to compare it to the ice beam, you probably could. It sort of functions the same way. Charge shots with the dark beam can freeze enemies. And much like in other Metroid games, an enemy that's frozen can be immediately killed by firing a missile at it.
Alright, how useful is that in terms of platforming opportunities? Because that's the main thing that it was used for in the 2D games.
The Ice Beam in Metroid Prime can freeze some things to work that way, but the Dark Beam does not do that at all.
Right. I was just thinking, that's the sort of platforming that doesn't really lend itself quite as well to 3D as it does in 2D, just because of like the screen space distribution and whatnot.
Right, yeah. I'm not going to be updating my number of missiles and power bombs. That I'm just keeping track of to know that I have that item to be able to use. If I wanted to track the amount of those things that I had, I would be updating them very, very frequently. And so I find it easier to just track the fact that I have the item available to use more than anything else.
Yeah, fair enough.
I am realizing now that I am going to be forced to give up cannonball very soon.
Oh.
Because there is a kinetic orb cannon that I am going to be required to use to be able to do something here shortly. Which is sad, but, you know, it'd be like that.
We work with what he gives us.
Yep. Actually, what is up here? There's an item at the top of this room. That is a beam ammo expansion, so I don't care about that. Much like the missile expansions and stuff, you can expand your ammo for your limited beam weapons, the dark and light beam, so that you have more ammo for those as well. And those are normally in the vanilla game, when you pick up a beam ammo expansion, it expands both of them. It increases your capacity for both beams. In the randomizer, you can actually split them apart, and I think that's more interesting because it fills up more of the item pool with more interesting things, so that you're not just getting, 70 missile expansions.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Something this randomizer also does is these little lore scans throughout the game can sometimes have hints, and sometimes they just have stuff like that, which is completely unhelpful. Either tidbits of information or jokes, memes from the community and things like that. So unfortunately, the first one that I scanned happened to have a little joke thing, but whatever. Alright. Finally able to move on after getting sidetracked by all of that mess. This is normally one of the first bosses that you come fight. I can't actually destroy that with that. And normally at the beginning of the game, Samus loses all of her weapons and stuff, and this is where you start getting them back, basically. This is the Bomb Guardian, and he guards bombs, as one would expect by the name, yes. And he also uses your bombs against you. Common theme for these things throughout the game is that they end up using your stuff against you. He is susceptible to a lot of things. Can I just destroy you with power bombs, actually? Yes. I don't know why I didn't do that to begin with.
Well, whatever works.
much easier to do that. It stuns him and kills him right away. And the item that we get from the Bomb Guardian is a key, which leads to the first major boss in the area that we're in, which is called Agon. Each boss requires 3 keys to enter. And so you end up fighting a lot of keys in this game, if you haven't noticed. 3 for each major boss, and then 9 for the final boss. Adds up to 18 total. So in the vanilla game, you definitely end up finding a lot of them. I might not have to fight the major bosses at all. In fact, it's pretty common that I don't. Dark Burst that I just picked up is a combo with the Dark Beam and missiles, which basically forms a black hole, but it requires more ammo. Let's see. The Spider Ball can be found up to 3 rooms away from Storage D. Okay, I feel like I have a pretty decent idea where that's going to be, though. Sometimes you can get hints like that where it's like, rather than saying the room that an item is in, it'll say, it's close to this area.
Yeah, just so you got a rough idea where to look.
Yeah, that's, sometimes that's a little annoying if it's something that you're, really looking for. You're like, man, I need to find this, and it's like, it could be in this location.
It could be, it also could not be. Have fun.
I don't need that. More beam expansion is... Ammo expansion's fine. That particular one that was back there takes a little bit to get to, sadly, so more time than I'm willing to spend, I would say.
I'm curious, you're talking about the way the hints work. Are there any areas in the Metroid series that have Mad Space hints?
I don't know about that.
Because that sounds like the sort of thing you could do to really be an arsehole.
Okay. I'm going to milk Cannonball for all it's worth. This is not the way that I would normally go at this point. But if I go this way with Cannonball, I get to abuse the fact that it gives me invulnerability a bit longer. And so that's what I'm going to do. Also, hopefully... Yes, walk into the power bomb like an idiot. I think that was gravity boost. That's an interesting one to be up there. I can get that as well. Alright guys, we're going to see some tricks.
Okay.
Hopefully I can actually do this pretty easily. Nice that I have Screw Attack. Makes this a little bit easier. The trick that I'm going to be trying to perform... and succeeding... Nope. I did the trick, but I didn't get high enough. This is called a bomb space jump. Basically, if you unmorph from the morph ball while up against a wall, rather than playing the animation, Samus will instantly... unmorph, and because of that, you get about a frame or two to jump in midair.
Huh. It's like an unintended double jump.
Yeah, basically. And so the problem was I just kind of screwed up the rest of the jump. That's not the gravity boost at all. that is actually going to be another cannonball. Fuck! That's the other cannonball, which I now am going to lose shortly.
Oh, never mind.
Oh no! That's so
there goes
bad.
that plan.
I should have gone the other way first. Oh, this is terrible.
I guess just enjoy cheating while you still can.
Yep. Reloading saves will also remove cannonballs, so that would not help me either. If you die and reload from a save point, it also removes cannonball from you. What is this? This is going to be the spider ball that was just hinted. So at least we have that now.
Yeah, now you can get back to that other bit.
Yeah, I'm not going to go back to that for a while because it's only one item, and I have way more here that I can do.
No, okay.
That I feel is much more beneficial, even if the game is kind of toying with my emotions. Oh wow, that guy dodged that like a pro. So the thing about the beams in this game, the light and dark beam, creatures from the light world, the normal world that Samus is in right now, are weaker to the dark beam, and creatures from the dark world are weaker to the light beam, as you would expect that, you know, to be vice versa.
Yeah.
There's also a third beam, which is called the annihilator beam, which is sort of a mix of light and dark. It uses one ammo of each in order to fire, and that one actually interacts with some sound based mechanics in the game. Basically, you get a visor that allows you to see echoes and sounds and things like that, and so the annihilator beam can interact with those devices to unlock certain things. And so that's what the usefulness of that one is. I'm going to once again reload this room because I can go basically through those gates that came up over there. But I need to reload the room to do it because they're not actually vulnerable to taking any damage right now. Once again, by coming over here and getting near that door, I can reload the room that's over there. Hopefully. I hope I've done that right.
Yeah.
And so I should be able to go through here and interact with those gates that popped up. Because you're not normally supposed to be able to take those gates down until you get the dark beam, which is actually coming up later on in this section where it would be in the vanilla game. Fun fact, those gates can also be taken down by hitting the crystals with a screw attack.
Of course.
Because why not, I guess, you know? Why are you asking questions?
So I take it that in the vanilla game, like with a lot of the 2D games, the screw attack is one of the tail ends of the game kind of items.
Yeah, you get it pretty close to the end.
Yeah.
It's also one of the few items that is, as far as I know, hard required. Because you have to use the screw attack to wall jump between a set of walls to be able to reach the final boss, and I don't think there's any other way to get up to it. Someone who knows better could, like, correct me on that. Dark Samus is a bit of a bitch. And jumped away from my power bomb. Very, very unfriendly. Fortunately, Dark Samus is also vulnerable to screw attack, which also does a lot of damage per frame. Just a little bit tougher to hit with. Especially if Dark Samus decides to move around a lot, or the screw attack just decides to not come out. I'm trying to get a point where she'll be standing in place for a second so I can actually hit the screw attack. Yeah, I was a bit too slow with that one.
It doesn't look like she wants to.
Nope, very unfortunate. I'm probably just gonna have to shoot her normally at this point. Oh, that was too early. She was still invulnerable. You know what? There's something I could do to force her to pop her shield up and she'll sit in place. I should be doing that for sure. She keeps going invulnerable by doing all of these fancy things.
This looks entertainingly annoying.
Yeah. Especially with the lag that's going on. Really not helping. There we go. Finally nicked her with the screw attack.
Good.
Alright. And so, in the vanilla game, this would reward us with the dark beam in this room up here, which, in the randomizer, if you don't have the dark beam when you get here, don't go in this room, because when you turn around, it turns into a door that can only be opened with the dark beam. So if you go in that room and don't have it, you're stuck there.
Fun.
Permanently. There's no way out. You can probably do some out-of-bounds tricks if you know them, but, you know, that's some pretty complicated stuff. So I feel like if you know those tricks, you're probably going to know better than to, you know, get stuck there in the first place.
Yeah.
Right, I'm abusing Cannonball for all it's worth because it allows me to have Boost Ball, which means I can get this item here. So I'm really making the most of having that because I don't actually know where the Boost Ball is going to be. So it could be hours before I get to come back and grab this. Much better for me to get it now, actually, than to have to wait on that.
Mm.
Even if it is just a light ammo expansion, still better, I think. Unfortunately, one weird property of Cannonball as opposed to having the normal boost ball is that sometimes it won't trigger the camera when you're boosting on a half pipe, and so you get weird stuff like what happened back there, where it just, you know, wasn't doing the locked camera, like the Resident Evil style locked camera.
Yeah, it looked like you were overshooting, and it was hard to kind of tell that you were at the right spot.
Yeah, if the camera's following you on a like half pipe like that, it's actually much harder to, you know, actually maintain your speed. Again, having Cannonball is nice here because it means I don't have to care about these lasers. This really is just kind of use Cannonball for everything you can until you have to give it up at this point in this seed. Because I'm pretty quickly coming up to the point where I will have to give it up.
Yeah.
Basically, once I finish this side over here of this world is when I'm going to have to give it up. That is a Sky Tipple key. Nice one just sitting out there, free and ready to grab. Definitely appreciate that. Love it. Love to see it. Make sure that you come over here and trigger that door to lock, because if you destroy the pirates before triggering that door, they will lock you in. Because that door only opens when these pirates die. And if it locks after the pirates die, then there's no trigger to unlock it, and so you basically get stuck.
So is that a problem in the base game as well?
If you come into the room from the other side, yes. You're supposed to come in from the lower door down here in the vanilla path.
Right.
And so by doing certain sequence breaks, you can get in from the upper side like I did here for the randomizer. And that will run into that problem, basically. I don't actually need to activate that, but I figured I would activate it now, so it will be ready later, is pretty much what I'm doing that for.
Fair play.
Because those things that I, brought up from the ground are platforms that I have to raise and lower, which would let me get over to that elevated area where the key was, but I could just screw attack over, so I didn't care. Was basically what happened there. Let's see. Normally, these Metroids would not break out of the glass your first time in here. Because I've already fought Dark Samus, though. Nice chunky lag. There is a trigger that is set for those Metroids to break out because, like I said, I beat Dark Samus for the first time already. So this room is already updated past what it would consider to be the first time you come here. Also, I get to show off the fun thing. What happened back there is the Metroid tried to attack me as I was going through the door. Unfortunately, it turns out that Metroids are allergic to doors.
That would have been useful in the 2D games, where a couple of times them chasing me through the door ruined my fucking no-hit run.
Yeah, so if a Metroid in either this game or the first Prime, I can't go this way, what am I doing? Touches a door, they will die instantly. I'm not entirely sure why, but that's just how it is. And so that's why I sent you that image before we started of Samus, if you want to share that in the chat real quick.
Yeah, I can do.
Someone, a chatter by the name of DM Landale, one of my friends that I play FF14 with, during a Randomiser stream, made that Photoshop edit of Samus basically wielding a door as a shield in order to fight the Metroids, and I think it's hilarious. Unfortunately, we have now reached the point in which we must say goodbye to the cannonball, because I cannot get into this room without using one of the orb cannons. So goodbye, cannonball, and farewell. You are forever lost to the seed. Unless I decide to add it back, because I can do that. Another thing the randomizer can do is activate basically dev tools called the menu mod. And menu mod is basically, like I said, dev tools. You could do anything you want, really. You can warp to a certain room. You can give yourself items or take away items. And things like that. So really handy to have. And it certainly helps in this game where you can soft lock in a lot of places. Really nice to be able to just, leave whenever you want to. Thanks, game. I already have the screw attack. That hint was useless.
But now you know what it does.
Yeah. Sometimes that can happen where you get a hint for an item that you already have. It's a bit unfortunate. I want to get rid of these wasps because they are annoying.
Understandable. And I see Axel has made the obligatory comment. Although, Axel, I do have to correct you. The character's name is not Metroid. We know his name is Halo.
I was going to say, his name is Halo.
Halo's a cool guy, eh?
Let's see, can I get this? You're supposed to destroy this with bombs. If you hit it in the right way, you can destroy it with screw attack. I'm wondering if I'm able to do that, though. I might just hit it with bombs anyway, just because I seem to be failing that. I can still do it in the fast way, at least, and not have to take the really long path. You're supposed to hit several of those little blockades, which I guess are part of a turbine system, or something like that. Because we hit the last one, it triggers this to happen anyway, even if you didn't hit the previous ones. So basically, again, just slight sequence breaks. And now we have our very first trip into the Dark World, and as the hints on screen will tell you, Dark Aether's atmosphere is dangerous. And you will take damage when you are outside of these safe zones. While you're inside the safe zones, you will restore health, and another thing the randomizer does is you can actually change the amount of health that you regen while inside a safe zone. I've put that up a decent bit because I just find it more enjoyable to not have to stand around for 3 minutes to recover my health.
Understandable, yeah.
Yeah, so it also trivializes a few things because there's a lot of bosses that you fight in the Dark World while in these safe zones. And so, of course, you know, if you're constantly healing, a lot of the bosses are made easier.
Yeah, I mean, like, that doesn't really mean much when we spent the first couple of areas of the game with a bullshit invincibility power, but still.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
So, very, very sad to say, and we won't be getting it back again unless I decide to, because I could just give myself Cannonball if I really wanted to. So, there's a boss in this room, but it hasn't started yet. But it's right here.
Right.
So, I can actually take down the boss's health bar by shooting it right here before the boss actually starts. And so when it starts, it will have 1 HP. And so I can kill it instantly. And I promise you, this is a lot more entertaining than what the actual boss fight would be like, because it's one of the most annoying bosses in the game.
This is stupid, but I love it.
Yes, this is one of the things that's done in the speedrun in order to, like, do this fight very quickly. And now I'm going to start shooting some missiles at it. I apologize for controller noises. They're going to happen. Be glad that I'm not using an actual GameCube controller, because they would be much worse. Alright, a little bit more... A few more shots here, and I think Mr. Guardian should be ready to go. And... Yep, he is at 1 HP. And he is dead. And what item will the Jump Guardian be giving us? Just dark ammo. That's not especially helpful, but it's something that I need to do anyway. Oh, I need that. Good. That's a pretty nice item to have early on. I've been getting a lot of randomized seeds where I get the super missile very early on. Nice to have. Opens a lot of things and is just kind of really good for combat as well. So definitely nice to have that. Again, I do miss Cannonball. I do take damage in the Dark World no matter what. If I had Cannonball, I would be invulnerable to the Dark World damage.
You have to let her go, Spar.
Yeah, while in
She's
Warfall.
gone.
She is gone, yeah. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, people in chat, you could probably give me some ideas on this. How is Samus Returns? Because it was one of them games that I heard about, and I heard some alright things about as a Metroid 2 remake, but it was so overshadowed by all the like AM2R controversy that I didn't actually hear many actual comments on the game itself.
Yeah, I can't comment on it myself, but I know a lot of people who swear by it, so, you know, take that as you will, I suppose.
Seeing some pretty good. It's very linear though. Like, linear in itself isn't that bad. Like, I've heard a lot of people say that Zero Mission's linear, but I kind of like that about it. Although the thing with Zero Mission's sort of structure is it's the kind of game that I wouldn't ever consider 100% in, and that's because you have a very linear route through the main game, but if you want to complete stuff, then there's a lot of backtracking. It's not the sort of thing that you can just sort of do along the way conveniently.
Yeah, without, like, tricks and sequence breaks and stuff, sure.
Yeah, but even then it's like there's the first part of it, which is pretty much just a blow-by-blow remake of the first game, but with, you know, quality of life enhancements. But then there's a second part where you get entirely new items, and so it's like if you want to then kind of complete the game, you get to like basically just in front of where the final boss is, and then you can go back and backtrack, and it just kind of it sort of leaves it feeling a little bit limp because it's like he's right there, I can fight him now, but you know.
Yeah. So this is actually the arena for the first major boss, the one that we picked up that red key for.
Right.
And there's actually another red key right here, almost vanilla, because there's normally a red key for this boss in that room. So,
Alright.
yeah, fun to have that happen. I don't like that the game is sort of pushing me towards doing this boss, because the less bosses I have to do, the better. The faster it's going to be, and probably the more fun the game's going to be to play and whatnot. So, yeah. I'm going to do something possibly stupid. But first I'm going to come over here and use this save station. I don't need to worry about losing cannonball when I reload a save because it's gone. So saving here before doing something stupid is a good idea. So the thing I'm going to do, now that I have the super missile... The hell? What was that thing floating on? Alright. I guess I'm not going to question that. You know what? I'm not going to question that, actually. So I'm going this way. And let's see, what's down here? Can I... Thank you. You know what? I think that's worth it. I'm going to go down there for that. The game probably expected me to have cannonball for this. This blue stuff down here is phase-on. It's basically the thing that connects the Prime games together. And it hurts you.
It's lava. Practically speaking, it's lava.
Basically, yeah. So it hurts you, and you're also in the dark air, which also hurts you. So you're taking, like, extra damage as well. Let's see. I can't do anything in this room. I should not be here. Nope, I should not be here at all. Please open the door, please open the door, please open the door.
Yeah, you're getting a bit closer.
So those little creatures on the other side of that door are ink claws, and they spit out even more toxic gas than what is normally in the air in the dark world, or dark aether, because aether is the name of the planet. And so it destroys you that much faster if you don't have the first suit upgrade. And because of the loading times of the game, I had to wait on the door to open, and in the process, I was dying.
Oh, that's bullshit if it's the game loaded.
It was actually the game loading the room, and that's why it didn't open right away, yeah.
Oh, so if you're emulating this on a more powerful system, does it make it load quicker so you haven't got to worry about that?
You can sort of make it... You can make Dolphin do sort of a... do a fast disk read kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
So it can go a bit faster, but it's not like a huge amount. The load times in this are going to be way better than the Trilogy version, because that one was just horrendous when it came to load times. Even the... unless you get the digital version on the Wii U eShop, which I'm pretty sure is either completely gone now or will be shortly, because they're closing that down. So if you're going for that, definitely get it soon. So yeah, if you have the digital version, you're probably fine in terms of load times, but otherwise GameCube is going to be best.
Although, saying that, if you download it on the Wii U's hardware in itself, I distinctly remember being very slow, even like just on the menus and shit, so I don't know if that is that much of an improvement anyway.
Yeah, I really don't know if the digital version on Trilogy is really better than GameCube. You'd think it would be, just because it is digital, but, you know, it might not be, actually.
What's the general consensus on the Trilogy? Because didn't they retrofit one too with the Wii controls for that?
Yes, and a lot of people will swear by it, and a lot of people think it's terrible. Part of what they also did was removing a lot of things that could be done by, like, for speedruns, which a lot of people take issue with. You know what? It's whatever as far as I'm concerned.
I feel like it's one of them things that speedrunners will just have a version that they use for runs, won't they? So if there's a different version for people to buy, then like I can see the annoyance, especially like when we're talking about speedrun issues. Are they the sort of like glitchy things that people would encounter normally, or are they ones you have to go out of your way for?
You probably have to go out of your way for most of them, I would say. A lot of them involves getting out of bounds, which in some cases is pretty easy to do, and in other cases requires quite a lot of work. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, see, like at that point, it doesn't really seem worth fixing it. I feel like this is the sort of thing that you would just turn a blind eye to that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I was able to look back in the mining plaza back there. The item that is behind that gate is the gravity boost, which I will need in order to basically do anything underwater. And I can't get that item until I have beaten the main boss of Aegon, which is the one that we have 2 keys for, and I've also obtained the Echo Visor, which I have 0 idea where it is. So, yeah, hopefully I don't need the gravity boost.
Axel says, I remember there were like 3 versions of Prime 1 on GameCube alone that prevented you from getting the early space jump. So is that one of the sort of Mario 64 kind of deals where there were revisions that patched out the speedrun tricks?
Yes, because the space jump in Prime 1 is actually directly behind where you start the game. Where your ship lands is right next to it. This is the wrong way. Yeah, the door's over here. And so there's a thing you can do by jumping off your ship to actually get to the higher platform that leads to the space jump and grab it early.
Yeah, okay, that does sound like you can break the game with that. So I kind of get that sort of thing being patched.
Yeah, so basically what they did, especially from this game onwards, is there's this little motion here of, you know, strafing where you jump to the side, and that gives you a lot of speed.
Right.
And so that's what's used, and in, you know, probably those updates in future games, high lag. Pretty much any time I use a power bomb, I'm gonna lag. In those updates in future games, they made it so that the strafe jump gives you less speed. You can still kind of do it anyway because they didn't fix it really well.
No. They tried.
Yeah. I don't have that kind of trick turned on for the logic of this randomizer. I can sort of do it, but I'm not really good at it, and so I don't want to be required to do a tough one in order to advance on. So I might be able to do some of those jumps to get things early, but they will probably not be things that I need to move on, because the logic isn't expecting me to get those if I get them early, and so they're probably not going to be important things. Like when I did that bomb space jump to grab the second cannonball, the game was not expecting me to be able to do that because I don't have that turned on in logic.
Right, yeah.
Also, I could have avoided grabbing that because you can actually turn on the scan visor and actually scan items before you pick them up to find out what they are. And I sure should have done that.
Would have helped, but
Yeah.
too late now.
Yep, I'm really hoping that the game is not expecting me to pick up that second cannonball for any kind of, you know, necessity. Because it is entirely possible.
I feel like these games getting a re-release on the Switch in general would be a good idea, but I also know how Nintendo works, and if they're going to do that nowadays, they're probably just going to drip feed them out one at a time.
Yeah, they might honestly just drip feed them either with... What would be really cool is if they give you an option to use the original GameCube controls or pointer controls with the Joy-Cons. That would require work.
Yeah, and also the Joy-Cons work quite a bit differently to the Wiimote, and they're just generally less accurate. So, I can see why people would prefer playing like a first-person game with the Wiimote. I don't think that'd translate too well with how the Joy-Cons work, though, because they're just a lot less precise.
The Joy-Cons are basically just a gyro motor as opposed to an infrared sensor.
Yeah, so it's just like it's not quite as intuitive. It doesn't work quite as well because the thing with playing first-person games on the Wii is that I personally don't like motion controls in general. I could probably count the amount of games I like with motion controls on one hand, but like I sort of get the mindset. It's similar to how like a lot of people prefer using a mouse to aim in a shooter, just because it's a lot more accurate than using a joystick. But I'm too much of a creature of habit, and I just like using a joystick for basically anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't... I can go back up that way, but I don't think I want to. I'm at a point where I'm really not sure where the game wants me to go now.
Right.
There are certain places where they have portals to go into Dark Aether that you need to use the beams to activate. And then there are other ones that are just kind of ones that you have to scan. And so if you have one that you can scan, you can go in and out freely. Yeah, I did basically everything that I can do there. There is one thing that I can do there, actually. Thank you, Captain MD. Captain MD is another person who does a lot of these randomizers and maybe worked on the development? I'm not sure about that. Feel free to correct me on that, Captain. Yeah, Storage C is the thing that I'm thinking I can get now. Because I was not able to get that before. Yeah, you only do playing and racing of it. Cody, you're not a developer. Alright. I'm not really in the community for this, so I don't know all of the people, unfortunately. I'm only. Yep, that's definitely a word. I was trying to say mainly and mostly at the same time. I mainly know Diceron just because I follow his stream. And so, like, rest of the people I'm not too familiar with.
Fair play. And I just sort of barely know what a Metroid is, so I'm here.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you being here regardless. I have that setting in the randomizer set as a last resort, so it shouldn't require me to soft lock myself. Although I'm not actually soft locked, am I? Normally, as I was saying, if you have a portal that is activated by the beams, you need the beam to activate it. You know, the first rule of the Tautology Club is the first rule of the Tautology Club, kind of thing. And so, because I don't have the light beam, I can't actually use a portal to get back to the light world. But because I opened this path right here in the dark world, I can use that to get out even if I don't have the light beam. And so that's definitely what I'm going to try to do if the room that I'm going to now doesn't have anything. Because there's one major thing that I want to check. This room right here on the map that requires the super missile to get into. So I wasn't able to do that earlier. Because I have the super missile, I can now go check that. Let's see, is this room going to be updated to the next layer now? Yes, it is. This layer of the room that I'm on now is one that you are never required to see. There's little hatcheries that spawn little tiny Metroids.
Oh.
Yeah, and I mean, they'll still try to kill you. They're still Metroids. They still want to be Metroids and, you know, suck energy from things because that's what Metroids do. Alright, I think this is the room that I want up here. Is there going to be more Metroids in here? There might be. Yes, there are, but that's fine.
You can work with this.
Power bombs are, well, power bombs. They do what you expect a power bomb to do. Obliterate. You can also freeze stuff with the dark beam, like I said earlier, and then just fire a missile in order to instantly kill them, assuming that the thing you're targeting doesn't get out of the way like that. So I'm going to need to activate these things and actually mess with them, which I did not do last time. Let's see. That's probably a worse way to have these configured, but I also skip a cutscene by doing it this way, so that's fine as far as I'm concerned. Normally you get up to the platform that I'm trying to get to with Spider Ball and Boost Ball, but as I don't have the Boost Ball, this is, you know, what I have to do.
Again, we're improvising.
Yes, Screw Attack works just fine. And what's in here? Light Beam! Hey! Good stuff, Captain! Alright, the game did not expect me to make a deep dive of no return. Alright, and so now we can actually explore the Dark World freely because we can actually get in and out.
Nice.
I just gotta actually get back to a portal now. Yeah, yeah, that probably should have been my next check after getting Super Missile. I left Aegon after getting it, because there were some things back in the temple grounds that I wanted to check that I hadn't gotten yet, but probably this would have been a better option. So, I don't know. Maybe that was a routing error. Maybe it's a pretty understandable one.
It is fucking with me watching you having to actually jump over the lasers this time around.
Yeah.
I'm not over her either, don't worry.
Yeah, Captain, I don't know if you were here. I set my seeds with 2 cannonballs. And so I picked up 1 cannonball and realized that I was going to have to go through portal access and lose it. And found a second cannonball while avoiding that. And picked it up without paying attention.
Yeah, so we're sort of mourning now.
Yeah, and so because I had to lose it in portal access, both of the cannonballs and the seed are now gone.
She's with Craig now.
Yeah. But it's fine. We're okay. We're just, you know, it's all right. We'll make do. I'm just gonna get rid of these enemies because they can be a little annoying to deal with while trying to do this.
I can imagine.
Let's see, more energy tanks is good. I like having more energy tanks. That means more health. Well, this is a randomizer. Everything is backtracking. Huh. Alright, can't get those items. So I guess I'm actually kind of done here. Yeah. Yeah, I can't get anything else in Dark Ether. I can get those 2 items there. So yeah, let's find a portal. We're doing fine, Jeppo. We've been going for a little over an hour. Something like that. Some technical difficulties at the start, which were very not fun.
That's kind of becoming a recurrent trend on this stream, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that that's the case.
We haven't had our favourite segment yet from the last few streams, have we? We haven't had the update on Tom's computer just yet. Oh, I might as well give you that now. It's been like they've confirmed that they've received it, and they've also actually bothered to pin the notes that I sent them, the quite firmly worded email I sent them to the actual file itself this time.
Right.
So, basically, what I've said is if there's any possibility at all that one of the parts could be faulty, reach out to me with like a quote for it before you send it back. And hopefully they'll actually fucking do it this time.
Yep. So I'm going to use this room to refill my ammo, because I want to get some power bombs back and not have to worry about drops.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take the portal that's in this room to get back to the light world, because there's actually an item in this room where we fought Dark Samus. There's an item here that I can pick up. Hey, Audie, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, welcome to the stream.
There's also a hint that I can check here. One of the key bearer hints I can check as well, which I wasn't able to earlier because it's another case where the first time you're in here the layer is not updated. Because the room expects it to be the Dark Samus fight. And so when you come back, Dark Oasis contains a missile-related upgrade, which probably means it's a missile expansion. That is, I'm pretty sure, a power bomb expansion. I'm going to give this one try, and if I miss it, I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, that's fine. I don't need to care too much about that. I don't really need more power bombs that badly. But there are some items this way that I can grab. The game is probably wanting me to go to Sanctuary, because there's an elevator near here which I can get to and actually do some things in Sanctuary once I get there.
Alright.
So that's probably where I'm going to go next. Yeah, I have main power bombs. There's the Emerald translator, so that's more doors open. That, I think, probably gets me into Torvis, which is the one area that we haven't been able to go to yet. Hey, Cestrion, thanks you for the raid.
Yeah, welcome to the stream.
This is just a missile expansion. Let's see. I'm thinking if I want to do Torvis or Sanctuary. I think I'm going to go to Sanctuary and check the couple items that are there, because that probably wasn't far enough. Oh, it was. Surprising. Because they're pretty quick to grab. And then once I've exhausted all of that, I'm probably going to check Torvis, because that makes more sense. Really hoping I get a suit soon so that I don't die in the Dark World, because I still take a ton of damage there.
That would be nice, yeah.
There's two suits in the game, the dark suit, which lessens the damage you take in the Dark World, and the light suit, which completely nullifies the damage you take in the Dark World, and also gives a few other benefits as well, which will possibly come into play if the randomizer decides as much. Hey, LT Naruto, getting quite a few people that do randomizer stuff showing up in the stream. I appreciate you guys coming out to watch this. I wasn't able to announce the stream in the server because I couldn't find the server where the announcements for that kind of stuff goes, if there even is one. So I appreciate you guys coming by to watch this anyway. It's cool stuff. See, that looks like dark ammo, so I don't care about that. I'm going to check that hint. Progressive suit can be found on Forgotten Bridge. So my first suit, you get them in order, and because of the randomizer, is in Torvis, so I could go back for that, but I'm going to go on a little bit further and see what else I can get here, because there's definitely some other things that I can grab before I move on to those places. And I feel like these are quick enough that they're worth trying for. Yes, gold member, I'm pretty sure Prime 2 has a no suit %. A lot of the keys, at least in the vanilla game, a lot of the keys require you to have the light suit for certain things because they're in the poisonous water that's in the Dark World, which you can only enter with the light suit. Missile expansion. Yeah, Dark Suit might be required just because, I mean, look at the damage you're taking.
Yeah.
The final bosses are all done in the Dark World, so, like, you would be taking tons of damage if you don't have them. That is another Sky Temple key.
Yeah, like, unless there is one very specific route you can take to do everything in time, I can't see this working without some kind of protection.
I mean, you do get some, like, health drops and stuff, like during some of the boss fights, but man, I wouldn't want to try it.
Yeah, I wouldn't chance it live at the very least.
Thank you for running into the safe zone so I can kill you instantly, Mr. Ing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that I have set on here, Audible, is part of the randomizer lets you actually increase the rate at which your health refills in the Dark World. So I do actually have that set, so it's a lot faster. Because, again, I don't want to sit around for 6 minutes waiting for my health to refill.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that it's less about giving yourself that much of a tactical advantage, and it's more just like speeding up the pace of the game.
Yeah, the amount that's being healed right now, I think, is something like 4 HP per second. Normally, I think it's like 1.
Right, yeah, so it's picking up the pace a little bit. I don't know whether having it instantly refill your HP would be fair, given you are still fighting enemies and that while you're in there.
Ah, I can't do anything here. I don't know why I went this way. Ah, there was a place where I could have posted the stream. Well, that's fine. We're already here.
Yeah, this is an exclusive stream for anyone who just found it by chance.
Yeah, again, I appreciate all the guys from the Randomiser Discord stopping by. It's cool that you guys are always checking out for this kind of stuff, I guess. I assume that's how people found it. They were just, like, looking in the directory and saw a Randomiser stream. So yeah, I can't actually do anything more in the Dark World here, but there's a couple of things I can do in the Light World. Maybe. There's not much I can do without Boost Ball, I think. I'm gonna try anyway, just because Sanctuary usually has a lot of good things. The only way that I can go out of this room is taking this spider ball path that's over here. Going out the other door will actually drop me out of bounds because it doesn't expect you to enter from this doorway or from the doorway that's over there. And so I would actually drop out of bounds and be... yeah, that would be bad because I don't know how to do out of bounds stuff. Check this. That's probably going to be a missile expansion. That's a beam ammo expansion. I don't care about these enemies whatsoever. Most of the time, if it doesn't lock a door, then I'm probably not going to fight it. Alright, I'm going to go down here because there's a hint that I can check. Amorbus is guarding an energy tank, so Amorbus is the first boss in the Aegon area. So it only has an energy tank, but the gravity boost is in the mining plaza, which I need to defeat Amorbus in order to get. So it is still possible that I could be forced to defeat that boss even if it doesn't get me anything useful, which is kind of sad. Fun fact, you can actually get the keys that unlock a Morbus in the mining plaza, which means you can't do a Morbus. In that case, it means that a Morbus doesn't need to be done for the seed. It's just a fun thing that can happen if the randomizer decides that you don't have to do a Morbus, and therefore they basically say, well, I guess if you don't have to, then now you can't do a Morbus anymore.
Alright.
See, red key here. That's an Ing Hive key. That's practically worthless. That opens the boss in Sanctuary here. Or I guess it's the Ing Hive is the dark version of this world. There are other ways to get in without needing the keys, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like intended ways or not intended ways?
Very unintended ways.
Right.
Annihilator Beam is in Cat West. Is that this one right here? That is that one. Huh. Annihilator Beam is through that door right there. I can go pick it up right this second. In fact, I might do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
So that's going to give me all 3 beams and no suits. I'd probably rather have 1 suit and just 2 beams, if I'm completely honest.
Right.
Did I go the wrong way? I went the wrong way. God damn it. So this is another room where, you know, if you have cannonball, you're fucked. There's no way up. If you did I do the thing again? I went the wrong fucking way again. I took the exact same path.
It's like working out too well this far.
God damn it, me. There's no way up this room if you don't use the cannons. There we are. Now we have a Annihilator Beam.
Cool.
Let's see. There's more stuff up there that I want to get. If I go through that door, I'm actually locked down here for a little while. Because of a trigger that is required to normally activate it on the other side. You can go through it the back way like this, but trying to go through it normally would typically cause the game to crash. The randomizer just kind of puts a lock on it, because that's a lot better than, you know, causing the game to crash. So these enemies here are Resbits. They are, for whatever reason, I don't actually know why, 4 times weak to the cannonball damage type.
Huh.
Cannonball does 500,000 damage per frame. To the Resbits, it does 2 million damage per frame.
There ain't no kill like overkill.
Resbits have something like a couple hundred health. So yeah, they just kind of get deleted.
Yeah, you don't exist anymore, it's not even a question.
Alright, so gonna grab a few things here. A little spider ball puzzle, I would say, is the wrong word for this.
It's more just a set piece than anything from what I can see.
It's just a path.
Yeah.
Really.
It looks cool but fiddly.
Nice, I did the thing. I prevented myself from dropping down by landing on that little thing there, which means I can get back up to this path and continue onwards for it, rather than having to climb back up onto it a second time. I am occasionally good at video games. Oh, nice. There's the other suit that's in the game.
Ah.
Nice, I'm glad I checked that. So the second one is in Torvis, and so now we have the dark suit. It didn't update while I was in Morph Ball, because the game doesn't know how to do that. So once I exited Morph Ball, the suit actually updated.
So is that the one that stops you getting hurt in the Dark World?
It lessens the damage. Again, they're
Oh, okay.
you get them in order if you set them as progressive suits. So the first one you pick up, no matter what, will always be the dark suit.
Right.
And the second one will always be light suit. You know what? That's fast enough. I can grab that. Yeah, that didn't take any time. I'm pretty sure I need boost to get that item. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go back through the portal. You can adjust the damage that you take in the randomizer, depending on which suit you have. You could just set the dark suit to be, invulnerable to, the dark world damage as well, if you wanted to make the seed really easy. I don't know if you can change the base Varia suit. I'm not sure if that's a thing you can do, but I know you can change the dark and light suit. You can change the Varia suit. Interesting, yeah. Alright then. This is a bad check, and I probably shouldn't be doing it because of the amount of time it takes. But I'm here, so I'm gonna do it.
YOLO.
I can't... That's probably just a missile. Yeah, so nothing worthwhile there, which is good. That takes a while to grab.
Yeah, okay.
I think I'm at the point where I want to go back to Torvis now. Because I don't know that there's very much else that I can do here. Nope, I take that back. There is definitely more stuff that I can do here.
Alright.
This is why we check the map before we make decisions.
That's not living on the edge.
Oh, cool. I guess I got enough of a checkpoint to drop me over here. I can get to the temple. I can't get the item in this room, but I can get to the sanctuary temple, which will give me a free item. And also a hint that's there. I can't do the boss on the other side of that translator door, because I don't have boost ball. And I wouldn't want to anyway, because Spider Guardian fucking sucks.
Alright.
Another one of the most annoying bosses in the game. Alright, more ammo. I'm getting kind of tired of ammo. I want real items. All of the keys to the Hive Temple boss are in Sanctuary Fortress. Well, that's okay, because I don't actually need them to get into the boss anyway. The Hive Temple keys are relevant, as Captain MD13 says. There are multiple ways that you can get into the boss room without needing the keys. There's just a door off to the side that you can go through with the annihilator beam, which is what the boss usually drops, but, randomizer.
Yeah.
And also, you can jump over the lock that the keys unlock. You can just kind of jump over it with the bomb space jump and screw attack. So, not intended, but definitely possible.
If it works, it works.
I don't know how to do the bomb space jump thing, but I can definitely go through the other door since I have the annihilator beam. Now I'm going to go down here because I've gotten pretty much everything up here that I can get. So I don't really care about this door locking behind me anymore. Huh, I wonder at what point it actually locks. Probably now that I've fallen. I didn't mean to fall, by the way. I've already gotten that major upgrade at Junction Site. Let's see, what key is this? That's an Ing Hive key. I don't care about that. That is a missile expansion. So I don't care about that, even though I could use some more missiles. The amount of time it would take to grab that's probably not worth it. Alright, things aren't here yet, because this is the first time I've been in this room. Huh. Alright, well, I guess we're getting those.
Okay.
Because I definitely need that item. See if I can do this the fancy way. Because I don't actually have the boost ball, which is normally required. Nope, I didn't want to fall. I'm definitely going to be getting this out of logic because I don't have logic set up for me to be able to do this, but I can do this, assuming that it, works.
Yeah.
I am rather bad at it, but having this item soon would be nice. There we are.
Nice one.
Got it. So now I have the secret launcher way earlier than the game expects me to. I'm going to go unlock this path. This is the room that I could not do because it would have sent me out of bounds, because the game doesn't expect you to come in here from the backside.
Okay.
Fun fact, going through this little opening right here with cannonball will also send you out of bounds.
Oh.
So don't do that. Okay, that's unlocked, so now I don't have to worry about that. That path will be open if I want to come through that way. Alright, the nice thing is that I was able to do all of this without the res bits bothering me, because they would normally be in this room, but because it's the first time that I've been here, this guy is here.
Yeah.
I don't have boost ball. Can I destroy this thing without boost ball? You can screw attack into it while it's spinning. Okay. Does the same thing, I assume.
I think the ceiling being so low makes that a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, for sure. There we go. Alright. Thank you for that info, Captain, because I did not know that. I can't do anything in that room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and instead of having to travel all the way back, which is what I would have to do normally, what I can do is just choose not to save, and the game will actually warp me back to the room that I started the randomizer in.
Oh, right.
Very useful for preventing soft locks if you end up in a really bad location that you otherwise couldn't get out of.
I can imagine, yeah.
Because, I mean, I could have just gone back through the elevator back into Aegon, but I don't think Aegon is where I want to go right now.
Yeah, plus it's just quicker to warp over, isn't it?
Yes, yes it is. So I want to unlock this path, because if I unlock it from the front, it's available from the back. I've done some Prime Rando. That was actually going to be what I did on the stream for this. But I don't like Prime that much compared to Echoes. I just, you know, pretty much everything about it I feel like is just not as good for me. I feel like it's perfectly fine playing it normally, just playing the vanilla Prime I think is pretty fun. I really don't like Prime as a randomizer though. The bosses are just awful. Like, for a normal playthrough I can deal with it, but the randomizers, you know, making me fight all these bosses with stuff that I don't have to fight them normally, yeah, it gets pretty annoying. Plenty of stuff that I can do, actually, now that I have the Seeker launcher. Now that I have Seeker missiles, there's plenty of stuff that I can do. And this, that is much easier to do now that I have Dark Suit. Potentially could have done this as soon as I got Light Beam, but this area is full of Inkclaws, which, if you remember, spit out the incredibly toxic air. So coming back here with the Dark Suit is definitely recommended if you want this item. I am pretty sure that is just a missile, but it's fast enough that I think it's worth grabbing.
I mean, if it's there, you might as well just take it, hadn't you?
Yeah, for sure. For just a missile, I'm usually looking for things that are pretty fast to get. If it takes a while to get something, like if I've got to go through a really long track or something like that to grab it, then I'm probably not going to be interested. For something like that that takes like 10 seconds, yeah, you know, whatever. It's fine.
If it's right there, it's mentally speaking, it's harder to not take it a lot of the time, isn't it?
Right, yeah. To answer your question, Captain, if you're still here, we have run into a few joke hints. In fact, the very first hint that I got in this seed was a joke hint. I can get to Torvis, but I should probably go out that way. Or that way, if I'm gonna do that. I can grab Sky Tipple key hints at this point. I probably should do that. If I'm honest. So if you go to the gateway that takes you to the final boss, in the vanilla game, there will be hints that point to the rooms that the Sky Tipple keys are located in, and they change that for the randomizer that it does the same thing, just, you know, obviously different rooms to point to wherever it actually shuffles them to. So you don't end up having to, like, run around blindly to find them.
Yeah, that is cool that the randomizer does adapt even stuff like the hints and that. Because that, I imagine, takes a lot more work.
Yeah, honestly, the stuff that's put into the randomizer, the amount of work to make logic with the amount of tricks that can be done.
Yeah.
Incredibly complicated, incredibly brilliant people that work on this stuff that put all the code together and the logic that makes it work. It's just absolutely fascinating to look into. Oh, good. I don't need a translator for this one. This one's just unlocked. That's one of the things that you can set for those gates, is just have them not require a thing at all.
Yeah, alright.
Oh, I don't have Violet, that's right. Duh. Violet is the one translator that I don't have yet.
Oh.
I'm like, wait a second, why can't I use this?
I don't speak the lingo, I'm sorry.
Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna go grab my hints. If you wouldn't mind writing these down for me, actually, once I get there.
Alright, just a sec.
I already know where one of the sky tipple keys is at, because we saw it in Grand Wind Chamber. But other than that, the other three are going to be complete unknowns, so having that info will be very helpful.
If Notepad wants to open at any moment, that would be very nice.
Well, you do have got a few minutes. Let's see, what's in here? Oh, that's just more dark ammo. Lots of ammo. Lots of beam ammo in this siege for some reason, especially dark ammo. I'm almost maxed out on dark ammo, actually. I think there's only like maybe 2 or 3 left in the world. And there goes my cat Precious crying. She wants attention.
No, bless her.
Alright, I'll be having those hints for you here in just a second if you're ready to write them down.
Yep, I can note them down.
Alright. Turned in the 2 sky tipple keys that I have picked up already, plus the 3 that the game gives me automatically because I only need 6. One of them is in Grand Wind Chamber, which I already know, because we saw that one.
If you just tell me what to write down.
Torvus Plaza.
Torvus Plaza?
Dark Aegon in Cache 2.
Dark Aegon in Cache 2?
I can go get that now, I'm pretty sure. And Hall of Honor Dead.
Hall of Honor Dead. Is that all of them, or are there?
I think that's all, yes. Yep, I definitely really need to find Boost Ball. Sure wish I hadn't lost that cannonball, but I would have lost it several times by now anyways, so not really that big of a deal.
I'm just going to paste this into our chat so that I don't lose it.
Yes, thank you for that. So Grand Wind Chamber, I need Boost Ball. Hall of Honor Dead, I need Boost Ball. Taurus Plaza, I need Boost Ball. And Incash 2, I'm pretty sure I can go get now.
You know what might be a good idea, Spar?
Finding Boost Ball?
If you find the Boost Ball, you might be able to get the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It's probably in Torvus at this point, which is definitely going to be my next destination.
Yeah,
alright. I have a feeling... I'm really hoping that I don't need gravity boost. Not having any of the sky tipple keys be in lower Torvus is definitely good, because it means I hopefully won't need the gravity boost. Items that I need might be in lower Torvus, which requires the gravity boost for a lot of stuff, though. So, remains to be seen if I will need to actually go back and fight a Morbus to get that item. So that was another case where some dark ink things were supposed to show up and try to possess those pirates, but I actually killed the pirates before they could start possessing them.
Alright.
And so the possessor thing should have tried to go after me, but I think they either just kind of dissipated, or they got destroyed by the power bomb as well. I'm not actually sure which one of those happened.
Well, either way, they're out the way.
They are pretty much either way done, yeah. Good, this is also unlocked. It's really looking like I'm not going to need the Violet translator at any point during this. Would be nice to have the hints, though. Yeah, I would really like to have access to more of these hints. I guess I'll be able to get a bunch of those when I go into Torvis here momentarily. I couldn't get any of the hints in Aegon because I didn't have the Amber translator when I was there for a lot of them. At least I think I wasn't.
I think you did get a fair bit of stuff back there, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's just the bit I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I think I did find a few of them. It's when I was first there, I had to skip a few of them because I didn't have Amber translator. Thank you for the power bombs. And this will be some of the first bit of info on whether or not I need gravity boost, because there's an item in this room that requires it. Okay, that's probably an energy tank. And this is a missile. Good, so at least that item is not required. You know what? I'm probably going to use this save station that's right here. Because I'm about half health, and I think that's a lot faster than trying to find pickups.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think I've actually saved yet, which would probably be a good idea.
Just in general, yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually a bit more cautious with saving than I have been so far, so yeah. Definitely me being dumb by not saving yet.
You gotta make a habit of it.
Alright, there's an item in this room that I can grab, and also a hint that I can check as soon as I get out of the water. Thanks, game. Already knew that. That's a power bomb, but it takes like 2 seconds to grab, so whatever. Stuff like that. Again, I don't need the expansion, but if it's that fast, I might as well.
A few more spares never hurts.
These things just make more lag because their attacks have kind of a weird ripple effect. And it just causes so much lag on the emulator. I really wish I could have played this on my Wii U instead and not have to deal with the lag, but for whatever reason it didn't want to work. Okie dokie. Alright, so... I didn't mean to screw attack there, by the way.
Bit of extra flares. Never goes amiss.
Another missile there that I can grab later. It's fast enough that it's worth it. All of these translator doors are just unlocked. I've never seen so many unlocked in a single seed.
Well, I ain't gonna complain about it.
Right, yeah, definitely. Energy tank, I'll take that. I could have just waited until getting the energy tank to heal up, I guess. Yes, I already know where the gravity boost is, thank you. Did not actually need that hint, it was basically worthless. Hey guys, can you, like, yeah. They were being a bit of a dick. Oh my god. Oh.
They are intent on being a dick.
Yep. Alright.
Oh.
They did literally 2.5 bars of health to me. 2.5 health bars worth of damage in the time that they were alive. That's kind of nuts. Oh right, I can check this room. Yeah, they have phase-on grenades, which do a ton of damage and also, like, basically cover your screen. That is the Echo Visor, I'm pretty sure. Huh, that's a bit of an interesting spot for that. Land on the thing. No.
I don't know, it looked more like a pit to me. You like that pit, don't you?
Yep. Also, Echo Visor. So that means that I can get the gravity boost if I get another key to fight a Morbus.
Alright.
Again, hopefully I don't have to do that. I should probably go grab that suit. Because I know where the other suit is. It's not too far away from here. Fun fact. I can't actually go down there. Down this way. Even though I have the super missile that's required to open that door, there's actually an invisible barrier blocking it because I haven't done the fight in Torvus Temple up above yet.
Ha!
That barrier will not disappear in any way until doing that fight, and it's because of something that moves when the fight finishes. I'm not exactly sure of all the specifics, but yeah, you can actually get caught on the other side of that barrier if you have access to Lower Torvus through a different elevator.
Hmm.
Oh, it's a laser force field that's blocking an item, Captain MD says. It extends infinitely downward. Also probably infinitely upward. If I had to venture a guess.
Yeah, it just seems weird because I know these games in general seem to go out of their way to not use like invisible wall blocks. And that's why there's so many possible sequence breaks and stuff. So when there is one, it sort of stands out a bit.
Well, it's because that lower area is also the same room as the main Torvus Temple, and there is a force field that is blocking an item until you finish the fight in that room, and the force field itself, the hitbox of it extends infinitely up and down, even if the model for the actual laser grid does not.
Yeah, that makes sense.
See, now we have light suit. Let me mark that. That's another power bomb. I don't really feel like going for that. I can probably come back for that another time. But now we will no longer take damage in the Dark World, and we can also go underwater in the Dark World, which we would normally not be able to until we had the light suit, because you kind of just stand on the surface and continue to take more damage from the dark water. But with the light suit, you not only don't take any damage, you can also submerge yourself, and there are some things that are down there. Sadly, most of the things that are down there also require the dark visor, which we do not have.
No, okay.
This is a key. If it's a Morbus, I'm gonna cry. If this is an Aegon key, it's a fucking Aegon key. Well, Morbus is open. I don't know if it's worth doing without a hint, though, even if I know I can get gravity boost. I guess it depends on how much I can get in Torvus here. Because if I can get more of the stuff that I need here without needing to go to Lower Torvus, then I'm probably going to do that. Right, I already know what a Morbus has. This is a fair point. Morbus has an energy tank, we saw that. There's Violet Translator. It was here all along.
Oh.
in this one room where I couldn't have possibly known that it was at. So basically, as far as hints when it comes to a Morbus, I really just need to know if I need gravity boost at this point. Because that would be a long way to go back to grab that, but it would be worth it because, one, I mean, I need it. If I end up needing it, I need it. That's about all there is to it. Like, end of story.
Yeah. Or if you happen to, like, progress, at least.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Let me just do the smart thing. Instead of trying to do a more difficult jump, Let me just do the easy jump. Why make things harder on myself than I have to? Jesus Christ, the emulator did not like this tunnel. That was a hard freeze.
Oh, yeah.
This is probably a Torvis key since all of the Ing Hive keys are in Sanctuary. So probably all the Torvis keys are going to be here, I had to guess. They could also be in other areas, but like I know it's definitely not going to be a Ing Hive key because those are all in Sanctuary Fortress, as we already have the hint for that. I really hope I don't have to fight the boss here in Torvis, because it's also a bitch, and probably even more of a bitch than a Morbus is.
Alright.
Missile, that's fine. Gonna go use this ammo refill station that's over here. We are currently on track for about a 4-hour seed, if I had to guess.
Okay.
Much longer than my practice runs, but I'm also probably being called away more. So, because when I was timing stuff before for my practice seeds, I was not including the time that I was called away. And of course, I can't just remove the time that I'm called away from the stream, unfortunately, so... I think that's everything. Yeah, it is higher than normal dash speed. That's the thing that I have set on the randomizer settings, that you heal faster than normal inside the safe zones. It's really just nice, because it means I don't have to sit around and wait forever to be able to heal up. Yeah, I was really hoping that was going to get me all the way up there. Oh well. Sometimes you can get a lucky bounce off the screw attack that'll, like, put you on a higher platform. That was not one of those cases. I think I've gotten everything I can get in Torvis right now, though. There's a couple things I could get if I go to Lower Torvis. I guess I should go to the temple, come to think of it. I really should do that. There's also one more item I can get there. Yeah, there's plenty more I can get here. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just forgetting things. It happens. Who are you people? Why are you in my house?
The voices are getting louder.
Yeah, so next order of business is definitely going to be going to the temple, do that fight. I can get 2 items out of that, which is pretty nice. I know about this and the temple access item. Know if I really want to spend the time to get that missile, but I might do it anyway. Yeah, another missile there. There's another unlocked translator gate. What the actual fuck? I am actually kind of astounded by this.
Haven't you got all these things now, though, or are there some left?
Yeah, like, it's just that these are gates that don't require any translator at all. And there's been so many of them.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a boost ball.
Nice.
We also have me not doing this room correctly. And a decent chunk of lag while we're at it. This is our boost ball, so... Is that go mode? Let's see. Let me check these. That's go mode. If I get boost ball, I can finish the seed.
Oh.
Yeah. You remember when I said this was going to be a 4-hour seed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, okay. I mean, that works out because we tried starting early, but then your PC decided that actually we're not going to start early, so it kind of balances out.
Yeah, it does. Actually, I kind of did want to take that elevator up. I don't know why I jumped off of it. There's another item I can get for free, so...
Just picturing Samus looking really disappointed, realising she's got to use the stairs.
Let me mark that boost ball. Man, hate Wind Chamber, though. Grand Wind Chamber is really annoying. It's a long series of going back and forth between Light and Dark World and doing stuff. Actually, I need Dark Visor to do that if I want to do the actual puzzle part.
Right.
We're not in Go mode. Alright. I need Dark Visor for that. Because I can't do the skip for it. Alright. So we're still looking for one more item then.
Okay.
Because unfortunately I do not know how to skip the puzzle in Grand Wind Chamber. Which you can do with the BSJ and a good screw attack to just get up to the item without needing to, like, actually get up to it. But you know, that requires being good. It's not a thing I'm known for.
Yeah, if we can get more reliable way and do it properly, probably works out better, doesn't it?
Yep. There's a couple things down here that I can grab without needing the gravity boost. Don't know why I lost that for a second. Yeah, so Grand Wind Chambers is the only thing that I can't get right now. So Dark Visor is our Go mode item. That's an energy tank. Okay.
It sure is some GameCube water.
Yep. It does get clearer once we have the gravity boost.
Oh, okay.
We're able to see more clearly and also move a lot more freely. As you could tell, we're weighed down quite a bit by not having that. Which is weird because Samus picks up a gravity suit in Prime 1 and has it at the end of the game when the plasma suit is removed. Or not plasma suit, Phazon suit is removed at the end of the first game. And then the gravity suit just kind of disappears after that.
I mean, this is kind of like first observation of commentary, though, isn't it? Let's be fair.
Yeah. It's a kind of thing where a lot of the stuff that Samus should have from her previous adventure is not here, even before having all of her stuff taken away at the start of the game.
Sometimes you just gotta suspend disbelief for gameplay, and yeah, it's a similar sort of thing with like the whole Mega Man thing of starting fresh with every game.
Yeah. Alright, there's a hint down here. Yep. There's beam and storage C, that was light beam. You're not supposed to use screw attack to get across there, by the way. Oh, I needed to kill those enemies to activate that. I think I need to reset the room now. I always make this mistake. Fortunately, I'm pretty sure I can respawn the enemies. Or at least make different enemies that do the same thing spawn. Okay, so now that the big room in the middle has been loaded, I should be able to come back to this one and it will have enemies back in it, which I need to kill in order to activate the boost ball slot, which is what I need to get around this room, since I don't have the gravity boost, which would make it a lot easier. Yes, the enemies are back. Good. Okay, so now we can use the boost ball to get to the different rooms that are surrounding the main Hydra chamber. There's not a lot we can do here, but there's some things that I can do here. So I think it's worth it for now. I wish I could see what that item was up there. There's an item at the top of this little morph ball thing that I don't think I saw what it was.
No.
A visor is at Meditation Vista. That was the Echo visor that we already got.
No.
Would have really been helpful if that was pointing to Dark Visor. Let's see. I could be expected to go all the way down to the bottom without gravity boost because I have everything needed to get out. Ugh, not happy about that. I don't know how I'm supposed to get up there without gravity boost. I can hear the noise that this enemy makes when they turn to dash at me. But in the muck of this water, I couldn't see, so I just turned around and panicked. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to just move on and try something else now. Because that's not working out as well as I had hoped it would.
Nah, it's just not playing ball.
Yeah. If I could have got the air underwater trick, I would have been able to just use screw attack to get up to that morph ball slot, which lowers that cage. But, you know, not being friendly. So we're gonna go the other way. This is actually the long way around, but I don't know if I can go the other way anyway. I can't go back this way either, actually. Yes, without the gravity suit, you can't do anything with those, so... Well, if I'm back in this room, I may as well give this one more try.
Persistence is key.
Yeah, alright. That's enough. I've embarrassed myself enough.
Sure you don't want one more try?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna move on and see what else I can grab here. I probably should be heading to do, like, other things. There's way more stuff that I can probably get in other areas.
You know, being the devil on your shoulder is gonna work eventually. It's so much easier with Tom than you.
Alright. Again, the game might expect me to go all the way to the bottom area. Which you would normally need gravity boost to get out of, but there's a portal down there that I can access as well, which would allow me to get out.
Right.
So the game could be expecting me to do that. It would not be a soft lock, point of no return kind of thing, because I can access that portal.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the boost ball back, though, even if it's not our dear old friend Cannonball.
Next best thing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's still fast, it's just not invincible and fast. It's like having boost as opposed to regular, or boost as opposed to supersonic, I guess, if you want to look at it.
Thank you for translating into my language.
Yep. Please tell me where Dark Visor is. Quadraxis is guarding an energy tank. That's good info. That's one of the 2 items that can be on the Quadraxis boss is dead.
Alright.
There's a hint for the other one out there somewhere that I will hopefully be able to find. You know what? Fuck this water. I said, fuck this water. I didn't need to do that. But it really makes it a lot easier to get around this room when it doesn't have water in it.
Oh, I fucking imagine, yeah.
Axel says, don't fuck the water.
For if the water's my type.
I know what you're thinking about. I know what you're thinking about, by the way, Flame. So don't go there.
What am I thinking about, Spart?
You're thinking about fucking the water in a very specific way.
I'm just saying, if it uses baby doll eyes at the right time.
So that's another case where the crystal can be activated by screw attack. In this case, it also turns out that it can be activated by the wrong side, because you're not supposed to be able to do that.
Right.
Normally you were meant to come into the dark version of that room from the door that I just used. Let's see, I'm thinking this is probably a missile here. Because I went in through the... Yeah, that's just a missile. Because I went in through the door, through the portal, normally you're not able to bring that force field down from that side, but the hitbox extends far enough for the screw attack to hit it. And so I did. Because I could.
Nice.
There's a mini-boss above me here in this room that I could reach, but I'm going to wait on that for now.
Fair one.
Actually, is there a reason to do that? Is there a reason to wait? No. There is in fact not a reason to wait. Wait until the lag goes away. So that's a case where I was able to screw attack to get to a higher area. The boss was prowling around up there, but it doesn't actually activate until you come in through the front door, basically.
Yeah.
It's not even the fact that there's a trigger there that you can activate. You have to actually reset the entire room and like walk back in normally. Something about it just doesn't work if you jump up from the lower area.
Yeah, it's got a very oddly specific trigger.
This is also one of the only bosses that you basically need to scan in order to beat it, because it has a weak point that doesn't appear until it's been scanned.
Alright.
Also one of those fights where, you know how I said some of them would be abysmally easy? Because of the, healing in the light zones? Yeah, this is one of them, because you spend basically the whole fight in the safe zone.
Yeah, so you're healing just about as quick as he's hitting you.
Yep.
It looks like he's taking good damage as well.
Mm-hmm. No, no! Oh, I did not realize I could fall down here again. This is interesting. This is... Sure, I've never had that happen before.
So do you just go back to fighting him, or is he gonna...
No, fortunately, he's still activated.
Oh, okay.
So I don't need to reactivate him, I just had to jump back up.
That's good at least.
Dark visor? No, just a missile. Also, my voice cracked really bad there. Let's see. Yeah, I think being here is probably a bad idea. I'm gonna check the very bottom area and see what I can grab there. And that's after that I'm gonna hightail it back to Sanctuary, because that's probably where the rest of my stuff is gonna be. Tons of stuff that I can do there. Interesting. So what happened there is I unmorphed, but I got stuck under an enemy, and the enemy remorphed me. Also, hi, look, it's Dark Visor.
Oh, nice.
We are in Go mode now. I would definitely disagree that Grapple Guardian is the worst boss in the game. There's plenty of worse ones. Dark Samus 2. Jump Guardian's really bad. Dark Samus 4. I mean, Dark Samus in general is kind of just not fun.
Yeah, the one phase we saw earlier seemed a little bit annoying.
I mean, that one's actually pretty fine compared to most of them. The first one, the one I fought earlier was the easiest for sure. Alright, so... I need a portal, because I need to get out of the Dark World. I could find a save point and, like, return to my starting room, but there's stuff that I need in Torvis, so I'd like to stay here and get it. Fortunately, there's a portal this way that I can get. I'm just gonna have to go under these vines on the wall. I was going to say this is probably one of the lowest missile counts I've ever had going into... Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever dropped in there before. Going into, like, the final, section of the game.
Yeah.
But I've got plenty of missiles. I don't think I've actually explained this yet. I said earlier that if you are completely out of a certain ammo type, the game will prioritize giving you that. When it comes to the two beams, using the opposite beam to destroy or kill whatever you're fighting will give you the opposite type. Like breaking those containers with the dark beam should have been giving me light ammo, but it was prioritizing other things for some reason. Flame?
Yeah?
There's no water in this room.
Hmm. But he's swimming around, isn't he?
Uh-huh. I can safely say that I have never experienced this before. Oh, that's fun. I love it.
There's water in his mind. He can make this work.
He believes, and that's all that matters. Oh my god, that's great. Someone please clip this.
Has he just not noticed there's no water or something?
Oh, that's so strange.
I'm getting sort of fucking Planet Automaton sort of vibes where I just start swimming in the air, but at least that's sort of justified sort of in context.
That, honestly, even if this ended up being a cursed seed, if that had happened in a cursed seed,
It makes it
would have made
worthwhile.
everything worth it. Fortunately, this is not a cursed seed, as we are in go mode, and we'll be heading towards the ending very shortly. I just need to pick up the last few keys, and then we can go fight the bosses.
But you'll be finding a save point on the way, won't you, Spar?
Absolutely, yes.
Just thought I'd better get the reminder in now.
In fact, I can use this save point. Thank you, Axel, for clipping that.
No, that's fun.
Holy shit, I can't believe that happened. I had no idea that was a thing. Grabbing the keys is probably going to take me a little while. Probably not too long, but man, Grand Wind Chamber is probably going to take as long as the other three combined. Not going to lie.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those. Do you remember my tweets a couple weeks ago about the Lost Sanctum and Chrono Trigger DS? The problem with that being that you had to go back and forth between different time periods in the game.
Vaguely, yeah.
And that's basically what Grand Wind Chamber is. You're going back and forth between the dark and light world to do stuff, and it just takes so long to do everything.
I feel like that sort of concept is gonna show up when you've got this sort of dark and light world set up, but like it's one of the things that's just really awkward to try and make work fluidly.
Huh. So this is a thing that can happen randomly at any point after defeating the Grapple Guardian?
Alright.
These dark commando pirates can spawn in certain rooms once the Grapple Guardian is defeated.
Right.
And so they also lock the doors whenever they spawn in certain places. Some places they don't. This is a room where unfortunately they do lock the doors. And so I had to fight them. And also, that was a really, really unfortunate bonk.
Oh yeah.
That space pirate might have been dabbing. He might have, Axel. He's the coolest space pirate around. Torres Plazas might take a while too, I'm not gonna lie. It's another one that takes a bit. There's ways to do it faster, but I don't know how to do them. It requires using the boost ball to launch yourself off of the spider ball tracks at very specific points while holding specific angles. And so if you don't know those, you kind of just fly wildly around and land back at the bottom and have to start over.
Yeah.
So not fun. I've got all the items I need, but I might as well check this while I'm here. Nope, actually I don't care. It's a key, and I don't need the keys. It's a Torvus key, which I definitely don't need. Am I gonna get pirates again? I got fucking pirates again. God damn it. Nice thing is, even though they are dark enemies, they are still susceptible to the freezing of the charged dark beam. So you can freeze them and destroy them with a missile, even though they are dark enemies and take less damage from the dark beam.
Oh, whatever works.
Also, the name Dark Samus of, you know, the basically main antagonist is actually, yeah, see, that's what normally happens when you try to be fancy instead of just doing things normally.
Yeah.
But there's also an enemy up here that yeah, it's despawned now. There's an enemy up there that will also knock me off the tracks. So I need to get rid of that enemy in order to move forward. Let's see, there's like a faster way to go up there. Again, I don't remember how to do them.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna do it normally and have to fight the enemy when it spawns. Which unfortunately also requires me to drop down to where I can shoot it, because I can't do anything against it when I'm in Morph Ball like this.
I just saw that fall.
Oh, that one was on purpose.
Oh,
That one was so I could get into position to actually fight the thing.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, because you gotta be, because it's so high up, you gotta be at a point where you can look up to be able to find it. And
Right.
boy, I sure did not want to start a boost ball here. Yep, I did not actually mean to be holding that button. That was a little unfortunate.
Oh.
The game tried to grab me onto that spider ball track, and then it was like, you know what? You're going just a little bit too fast.
Getting a little bit too enthusiastic there.
So, if you come here with cannonball, that enemy can not hit you because you're invulnerable, but it can grab you. And if you keep the button held down to activate the spider ball, whenever it lets you go, you'll just snap back to the spider ball from however far away you are. And it's ridiculous to watch. I found that out the other day. Alright, there's our third key. That was a bit of a failed attempt at a screw attack.
That would have been really cool if it works.
Alright, so the last three 2 of them are in Temple Grounds, and 1 is in Dark Aegon. I guess I'll go... Dark Aegon's probably closer, because I can just get back to the temple and take the elevator. I love the light suit. I like both of the suits that this game adds, the dark suit and the light suit. Dark suit's a bit strange. The shoulder pads are especially a bit weird, but the light suit's just so nice and sleek and badass and really cool. Whenever I play Samus in Smash, I tend to go for the color palette that matches this suit.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. These pirates are being really rough.
Run their screen time too.
I guess. I mean, the worst thing is just that they lock the doors. You have to fight them to move on. I was really worried about what kind of seed I would get for this stream, but I think this is honestly a pretty solid one. I did make a single routing error at the very beginning when I tried to go to Sanctuary Entrance without Spider Ball, and everything else has been pretty solid, I think, in terms of how I've routed things.
Yeah, we had just enough antics to kind of get what you want from a randomizer, but other than that, yeah, it's gone pretty smoothly.
I mean, I spent a lot of time like going around areas that I didn't need to, but I was still able to do things there.
Yeah.
As opposed to going to Sanctuary Entrance that I literally could not do. Okay, so I need to get to... Oh, the camera's laggy. The map is laggy. I need to get to the Dark World version of this room, which is about as far away from my current point as it can be.
Of course.
Sad to say. What does this hint say? The missile launcher could be found in Temple Grounds.
Really?
Alright. I knew it was going to be worthless. I didn't realize it was going to be extra super worthless. I'm sorry, were there enemies back there? I wasn't paying attention.
Does it matter at this point?
No, because they don't lock the door. So it really doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, if they don't lock the door, we don't even need to acknowledge them.
Those particular enemies, the flying pirates, are funny because they do have some voice lines, and the voice lines sound like they're repeatedly saying pizza in a really garbled voice. So once again, the community decided they were going to make memes out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, if you spend enough time playing a game, you're going to make memes out of it. That's just how it goes. I need to go a certain way through here. I actually cannot take that light beam door because there is a laser grid blocking off the room that I need to get to on that side. So I need to go this way. Having light suit is so nice. I've done the final boss a couple times with only dark suit, and while it does lessen the damage you take in the Dark World, it's really nice to just not be taking any damage at all. Might as well grab the ammo refill while I'm here. I have 200 dark ammo, that's so much. I'm not going to use any of it in the final bosses. I'm literally not going to use the dark beam. Probably not the light beam either, if I'm honest. I might use the annihilator. But other than that, yeah, no. I will use the light beam and the annihilator, definitely, now that I think about it.
Right.
Because there's a phase where those are definitely good to use. Dark beam is not going to get used, though. There are enemies here called Dark Metroids. They're basically like normal Metroids, but they have a lot more HP. And it doesn't matter, because I can just screw attack past them. They also die to screw attack, as one would expect.
Yeah, I can't see the Metroids being as threatening in 3D as they are in 2D.
They're really not in this game. Probably not in Prime either. For most of Prime 3, they are fairly threatening, because you don't have easy ways to deal with them. Your freezing mechanic in Prime 3 is your missiles.
Right, yeah, so that's going to be more limited.
So you can't freeze them and then hit them with a missile to kill them. You do get a thing later on that can instantly kill most enemies, actually. You get the X-ray visor, which returns from Prime 1, and in a beam that can travel through solid objects. And so basically what you do is you use the X-ray visor to see their brain and literally blow their brain up with the beam. That's how it goes, yeah. Yeah, probably this way is the fastest for Grand Wind Chamber. I think this is the fastest way out of there. Huh, this never got activated. Oh right, because I can't go this way until I have the Dark Visor, which I only recently grabbed. You are not expected to go back this way for a very, very long time in the game, if ever.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you need Dark Visor to actually get past the next room here. Because there's a lock that you need to break with the Seeker missiles, but the targets are only visible with the Dark Visor for insert reason here.
Right.
Fun fact, while we're in this room, I don't remember what was in the large yellow crate that was over here, by the way, but that crate usually contains the default missile launcher in the normal game.
Right.
And you're only meant to reach that side of the room after going through a cutscene. And once you see the cutscene, the layer in that room will update. And it updates to a layer that also has that crate on it no matter what. So you can destroy the crate, grab the object, or grab the item that's there, and then watch the cutscene and destroy the crate and grab the item again. If you have a way to reach it. I'm going to give this one attempt. Yep, that's kind of what I expected, yeah. I don't know where to jump for that. There's something that you can land on up there, which will allow you to jump and screw attack to the item. But man, I don't know where it is.
Fair.
Oh, that's also a 3 BSJ, which is way more complicated. That requires you to time your bombs in such a way that you get basically sent up even higher.
Oh, right.
Yes, so definitely not in my skill set. It's just really sad that the vanilla way of doing this, which is the only way that I can, takes so fucking goddamn long. Because I need to twist around all 4 of these things to one side and use a dark visor seeker missile lock to destroy them, and then twist them all around to the other side and do the same thing. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's not so much what I was saying earlier about you're having to go back and forth between the dark world and the light world. It's more just a really long sequence of things that you have to do for really nothing. The item that you get here in vanilla is the beam combo that you get for the light beam, which is effectively worthless in most cases. It travels so unbelievably slow that it will not hit most things you fire it at. Is this... I don't think I actually need the dark visor to do this. In fact, I did not need it at all. In fact, it was actually hurting me to use the dark visor for that.
Oh.
For whatever reason, those things were not... Oh, I need to turn that more. They were not targetable or affectable with the dark beam. The sunburst, which is the beam combo that I'm talking about, is incredibly strong. It will do insane amounts of damage, partly because it's moving so slow and it will continue hitting the enemy as it's moving. The problem is that it's moving so slow, and most enemies will move out of the way of it.
Yeah.
I have put it to good use in a few fights, where it can be helpful. It can be useful on one of the phases in the final boss, actually. You just have to be really good with your timing to be able to do it. And I find it's usually easier to go with more reliable means. Alright, and now I think we go back to the light world. I think a lot of things with double damage erases bosses to Naruto. Double damage is a thing that was in the multiplayer for this game, so it's a temporary pickup. You can set it... I'm pretty sure you can set it as an item you can pick up in the randomizer. Either that, or it's... it might be something that you can get... like through the menu mod that I was mentioning earlier. So you just kind of turn it on there.
From what I vaguely remember, isn't the multiplayer in this game like a local deathmatch kind of thing?
Yes. Pirates. They spawn these enemies because they want you to make use of the new fancy toy you just picked up. Remember what I said about the sunburst being bad, though? Yeah. I would have had to have been about that. I would have had to have been about that close to that guy to be able to hit him with the sunburst without him dodging.
Yeah.
All right, one more key to grab, and then we're done. Let's see, which way do I want to go out from here? I want to take this path. Yes, the Dark Burst, the combo, much more effective on most things. I'll show it off here. Like I said, it basically creates a dark hole, which sucks in all of the lag and puts it in a single room. Yeah, don't do that again, Spar. Dark Verse is pretty fun. Much more interesting in terms of usefulness, how easy it is to obtain in the game. The sequence of events that you have to do to get it is not quite as annoying. So that's fine. Son of a bitch. I timed my boost balls wrong. My balls were not effective.
I'm sorry to hear that, Spar.
Yeah, it happens. The Sonic Boom combo, which is the combo for the Annihilator beam, is very, very strange. Its usefulness is kind of bad, as far as I know. It's just such a weird hurt box. Because it can miss things very, very easily.
Right.
Despite the, effect, the visual effect of it, the actual, effect that it has is very different. And I don't remember the numbers for this puzzle, so I'm kind of just going to do things randomly unless someone in the chat tells me the correct answer.
Okay.
I don't think that's the correct answer, actually. Something tells me that's not the right one.
Have you tried it?
Admittedly, no, I have not tried 42069.
Then yeah, how can you say it's wrong? This looks annoying.
Yeah, it is a bit. Okay, so only one of these moves the very far inner piece. So if I place that one correctly, then I move the rest. Yes, okay, that moves this piece. Yes, I want that. And then I think I want this one. Yes, alright. We are figuring things out for ourselves today. I promise I'm smart. Please ignore the fact that I just rolled directly under the key without grabbing it. It's, yeah. I figured I'd give that one shot. You can use the screw attack to land back into that little pipe instead of going out the normal way. Because the screw attack actually reduces the size of Samus's hitbox to about the size of the morph ball. So you can use it to get into certain pipes that the game doesn't expect you to. There wasn't really much of a reason to really do that there, though.
Nah.
Now, I want to get back to this portal at the Hall of Eyes. I really didn't do this in any specific order. I just happened to leave the key that was closest to the final boss for last.
Fair one.
It was kind of farthest away. Like, I suppose I could have gotten it right after I got my hints. But I knew I would also have to come back here anyway. I would be surprised if this seed takes another 20 minutes to finish.
Alright.
Because the final bosses are not going to take very long.
Yeah.
You know what? Add some time to that, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to Samus's ship, which we have not seen yet,
Oh, okay.
and save the game, and it will also refill all of my ammo.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
I don't need to do that. I could get by fine without that. But I am a bit low on missiles, not that I'll be using a lot of them. And having a lot of ammo is really just nice, especially power bombs. Power bombs are going to be very useful in one of the phases, because it's morph ball required. And you're meant to sort of use bombs, but power bombs cover a lot more area than regular bombs. So, like, why wouldn't I? Right?
Yeah.
What do you have, Mr. Dead Luminoth guy? You have a missile expansion. That's fine. You can just enjoy your mediocrity and death. Alright, final save, an ammo refill. Yes, yes, I know. I have all the sky tipple keys. That's fine. That notification will pop up when you have all of the keys for one of the temple guardians, like a Morbus and stuff.
Right.
It will also show up if you have already defeated that boss. Even if you use the keys, where am I going? Where am I going? I am not paying attention to what I'm actually doing in the game. I was on autopilot for sure.
It happens.
Yeah, if you use the keys, even if you use the keys to get into the boss, if you have not used a save station since the time in which you got the third key, you will still get that notification even if the boss is already dead.
Oh.
Yeah, a little weird. Alright, now that my ammo is completely full, we can finish this game off, assuming that the emulator lets me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's two choices.
I did just save, so like even if it crashes at this point, which it shouldn't, but if it does...
Yeah, we have a backup.
Oh. That did a lot of damage to me. Wow.
Ha.
Those lasers did a ton.
Yeah, I just saw that there. Christ.
There's an enemy in this game. I didn't go to the room where it exists because it's only in one room. Called a red Kraly. You might have seen the little green bug crawling around in some of the first rooms. That's a green Kraly. The red Kraly not only crawls along the walls, but it will also teleport periodically.
Right.
And when it teleports, it has a hitbox, or a hurt box, whatever the correct term is. In the time in which it is teleporting in or out, it deals some amount of damage per frame. I'm not actually sure what that is. But if you are standing in the spot where it teleports in, it will delete health bars.
Christ.
I've seen it happen in races, in tournament races, where people had not saved in a long time and got instantly deleted.
Yeah.
By that happening. I'm letting these cutscenes play out because we're heading towards the final boss.
Yeah.
You know. Normally I'd be skipping these, but like, you know, final boss, it's for content. This is our final boss right here. It's not quite ready to fight us yet, though. It's gonna run away like a pussy.
Right.
There is also a final save station right up here, which I'm going to use to refill my health. So I could have just, like, come in here and saved, and there's a few things around the area that will replenish my health, or my ammo, rather. So I could have done that instead of going back to the ship, but whatever.
Honestly, when you're using emulation like this, you can't really be too cautious, can you?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had any crashes in Dolphin. Or dashes, you know. Whatever, whatever the case may be.
Oh, I see what you mean about the jump thing. It's a cool sequence, to be fair.
Yeah, you jumping up to the boss. And here is our final boss. And they have the energy of the planet Aether that we need to take back.
Right.
They're not happy about that. They said, no, this is ours. This is our candy. You can't have any. Alright, and phase 1 begin. Just need to shoot these tentacles right here, which opens this up. And it's another lag fest, because of course it is.
Yeah. What an ugly piece of shit.
Yep. Probably not going to one-cycle this. No, I'm definitely not one-cycling. That's fine. I only got a few of them with that. That's fine. Again, imagine doing this fight without the light suit when you're constantly taking damage.
Oh god, yeah.
He's being a bit of a cock-end.
I can say that.
I literally could not move. Because the laser was just knocking me into the wall. Oh my god, that was especially chunky. It's still chunky, it's still going on. Oh, wow. That was really bad. I apologize. Nice. That super missile hit.
Good shit.
And this is where I wish I had cannonball.
Oh yeah, if you had your invisibility there. Fuck.
Yep. These things are constantly, like, knocking me off, too.
Yeah.
Alright, that phase done.
Good shit.
Phase 3 time. Don't blink. For whatever reason, the phase 3 of the Emperor Ring has a hitbox at his feet that is susceptible to the screw attack.
Huh. Well, that works out.
Yep, and so you kind of don't actually need to fight him.
It's not quite as much of a cheap shot as that other boss that you killed before he spawned, but still.
That's so much less annoying than the actual fight. The fight is fine, but the amount of times that you're going to be redoing this fight over and over for a randomizer, I'm really glad that there's an easy way to do it. It also ends up using an item that is required to reach this area anyway, so you'll always be able to do it.
Yeah, like we saw that you had to have the screw attack to get up here anyway, so yeah.
Yep, we are absorbing all of the energy that belonged to the planet Ether, which was being used by Dark Ether to contain it. And so now that Dark Ether doesn't have the energy anymore, it's kind of like, uh-oh. I guess we're just going to implode. And we have our Metroid escape sequence.
Of course.
Which also means, by the way, that was not actually the final boss.
Right, yeah.
We have this timer left to beat the actual final boss. Because we're not done yet. We have to fight one of the most annoying things in the entire game, potentially.
Okay.
There's a way to skip the phase that is called Dark Samus 4. There are ways to skip it. I'm not so good at it. I've done it a couple times, so I'll probably end up having to fight it, but man, it sucks. It's just so unfun. And you'll see why if I end up having to do it.
Alright. How generous is the timer overall?
Even fighting this thing normally, you end up with several minutes left.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like, you would have to be doing pretty badly to run out of time, I feel like.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, yep, I did the thing. This is Dark Samus 4. Enjoy the boredom.
Okay.
It goes up into this big orb and it fires a missile every so often.
Let me guess, there's a lot of standing and waiting.
It's a lot of standing and waiting, and when it comes to the emulator, also lag. And then it does this, and you have to collect little pieces and fire them back, and of course, nothing in this game can be perfect, so sometimes the little pieces will hurt you instead.
Lovely.
And it's not even a fun thing where it goes back to the normal fight. She falls back down for like 2 seconds, and then she goes right back up.
Yeah, so you get back to the annoying phase right away.
Yep. If you do well enough with hitting her with a screw attack, Dark Samus is an it. I'm not even going to play with gender. Dark Samus is referred to as an it in the game, so... Or maybe even a he. So, Dark Samus, if you hit Dark Samus enough times, like, with screw attack and stuff, you can basically do enough damage that she doesn't ever get to this phase. Basically is what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
Calling Dark Samus her is kind of the reflex because Samus is a girl.
Wishful thinking got it.
For those that aren't aware, just a bit of the story involved. Dark Samus is the reincarnation of the Metroid Prime, which was the final boss of the first Prime game. That's where the name comes from.
Right.
You kill, quote unquote, the Metroid Prime, and it sort of falls back into a pool of Phazon, and Dark Samus emerges and, appears on this planet. And even though we kill her here, she kind of reappears. Again, I said she. Even though we kill Dark Samus here, it reappears in Prime 3 in the same way. And presumably will come back in some form in Prime 4. And... Oh no, you are not doing the 1 HP thing.
Oh, I think it is.
It's doing the 1 HP thing. Done.
It's like one last fuck you, isn't it?
Okay. At least Dark Samus was being very generous by giving me the Phazon particles a lot.
Yeah.
It can just decide not to do that. I did not need the gravity boost, which is really good because it means I didn't have to fight the boss. I didn't have to fight any of the main bosses for the 3 areas, actually. Really good seed, actually. That was actually really fun. Pretty good routing all around. The only bad routing in the entire thing was the light beam being in that one room that was so far away from everything else.
Yeah.
I had to make such a long trip to get back over to it, and that's what I needed to do to advance on. But yeah, this was really cool. Thank you again to Ultinaruto and Captain MD13 and any of the other guys from the Randomiser Discord for stopping by. Really fun to have you here. And also you guys helped me with like figuring out where I was supposed to go at certain places. If you don't mind using the echoes command in the chat again.
I can do that, just a sec.
Yep, if you guys take the links that that command will show to you, you can learn a lot more about the randomizer and check out the Discord server as well for any kind of info that you want to find out, or like ways to download it and stuff like that. So if anyone's interested, feel free to check it out. I'm sure we'll have links in the description of the YouTube video as well.
We will if you remind me.
Thank you, Emulator, for one last chug right there.
That's his death scream.
So I'm going to let these cutscenes play out. I'm probably not going to sit through the credits, but we'll let these play out, and then we'll go ahead and sign off. So thank you everyone for stopping by. This was great. Axel should hopefully be streaming on Saturday. I don't know if we have a confirmation on that yet. But if not, then we'll be back next week with some more stuff. Hopefully. I don't know what we have planned for that quite yet, but we do still have some stuff in the pipeline coming along.
Yeah, if you join the Discord server in the link that I just posted, you can get notified whenever we go live. That's usually where we announce things, saves you having to track down all our Twitters and whatnot. So what we'll be doing, we have some rough ideas of what will be coming up, but we're still sort of just winging it for the time being. So yeah, keep an eye on the Discord and we'll announce streams as and when we go live.
Yep. Thank you guys for watching. This was a great time, technical difficulties aside, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Have a good one.